All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Did y'all have a good day yesterday? Morning. Yeah, we're getting our cold weather down here. Supposed to get really cold the next few days. All right, looks like we have a little bit of an early entry long here on Simplicity. Both of these are angling up. Broke the high. Looking at the 30 tick. Got a couple ZOIs and ice level here. Got the minus 2.5 deviation. So we'll see where it wants to go. If it wants to go up there and test that. 50 tick was pretty ugly, just broke short. Now let's see what it wants to do. Morning. Okay, it's hitting these ZOIs up here. See if it breaks them or if it gets rejected. Let's see. All right. I won't be taking an LRE if we get one here. If it pulls back, because then that means I'd have to go through all this area up here where it just got rejected from. Like right now would be an LRE technically, but I'd have to go back through these ZOIs and red ice. Which if you look left, I mean, that's just not a great area to have to want to go through. So I'm not taking an LRE, and I either want this to continue long first or go ahead and reverse, give me a short, and let's go back down. There's probably enough room to grab about 5 points on it, but with me trailing LREs now, there's no reason for me to take this one. $7.52. Let me see. So I would have liked that LRE you're mentioning, but I probably would have skipped it because, let's see, let me scroll back. It was right here, pulled back right here at about that 752 that you're mentioning. Pulled back there. I would expect it to hit this ZOI, which it did, but you could get in here. Your stop would be behind that ZOI, so that's fine. The only issue is if I look at it on the 10 tick, yeah, I had HD. All looks good, except you have to come back through the deviation here. And you had a mini magnet here with a mini magnet on the 30 tick. So you have to make it back through all this stuff. So that's the reason why I probably wouldn't take it. If none of that was there, then yeah, I would definitely take that short. Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, that's part of it too. You just want to make sure. Now, if you took it, let's say you did get in around right here would be the exact entry where these double clusters are, 1149. Yeah, there's just not very much room. You probably could have safely gotten 5 points out of it, but I would have just been too nervous going through this stuff. So real tight area. All right, as you can see, this one is struggling to break this area. Yeah, that's part of it. Part of LREs, is as you pick them up and do them more, you start seeing more of the picture. Like when I first got started with LREs, I got only fixated on looking at this solid line, and that messed me up a lot. Like right now, like here, this pullback, I would have said, "Oh, hit the solid line, let me get in." Which, yeah, you would have made 5 to 7 points on this. But then here, it pulled back again to the line. Oh, there's another LRE. Hop in. And I was just hopping into all of them like that, which, this trade is pretty strong. So you could probably win a majority of them just by doing that. But then you're going to pick up some losers you could have avoided as well. If you look now, see it did make it to the red ice, pulled back to the red ice. But when it made it to the red ice this first time here, it left us a nice little red eye zone on this area with the two double ZOIs. So it may go, but it's having a hard time. But if you look at the 30 tick now, we could be potentially having some HD if this bar closes short. So if this closes short at 1130.75, we'll have some HD with a red absorption X on it. Simplicity looks like it wants to set up a short. Ten tick, we have a nice little level here that it created on that same area. Latest ZOI, mini magnet, so it could be trying to push down. Now a 30 tick ZOI here as well. So I think this thing will push down. That's what it looks like. We do have a simplicity short now, early entry short. Both were angled down, broke that. Then we also have this cluster right here on the 30 tick. So if it comes down to here, which is about 1126, I'd prefer it to break short of that and then maybe come back and retest it to go short on a pullback. Because if it just makes it down here to 1126, it's kind of on the back to the bottom of this little simplicity range. Then I wouldn't want to take an LRE in the middle of that. But yeah, that 30 tick bar did close down. So we have HD. So let's see if it pushes. The only thing holding it right now that could be holding it is this little cluster that could make it hesitate. Well, it is kind of bouncing around this little ZOI, between the ZOI and cluster right here. This little area. So we'll see if it could break that. Pretty sure it will. A lot of volume today, 130,000 compared to yesterday was at around 60 to 70,000 all morning. So double the volume today. All right, here we go. It's trying to get close to testing this cluster now on the 30 tick. Looked like it was trying to get there. $11.26. Let me check the oh, I don't have my OP chart up anymore. I was going to check the OP chart to see that cluster, how many orders were in it. All right, it went up and tested that ZOI on the 30 tick chart. Let's see what it's going to do here. Hopefully it doesn't just chop around. We are on the third bar of chop on the 50 tick. Now it's testing that cluster. Hit the top of the cluster now. Here's the point that I want to see if it's going to break or hesitate and then go, or chop around, or come back up to ice again to complete a fourth bar of chop on the 50 tick, which would be right up here. So just have to wait and see. Do have a little bit of news. at 8:30, so it's low impact news. So probably won't do much, but at 8:30 I'll be a little careful just in case if it makes a little splash. All right, I guess it's going to chop around here a little bit. Wait for this low impact news in 1 minute. It's low impact, but I guess it's enough to stall the market until it comes out. Definitely going sideways a little bit here, and Simplicity chart's getting a little messy, or is messy, pretty ugly. So we'll just wait now. Good morning. Welcome. Last day of the 80% off sale. And I am hearing they are not extending it. So if you need any accounts, today is the last day. Morning, morning. All right, it's 8:30 now. Okay, we have a fourth bar chop here. Oops. There we go. Now I will wait for a breakout bar. $30 ticks not telling me too much other than we're in a little bit of a chop right here. And of course the 50 tick is on its fifth bar waiting for this breakout. All right, let's see if we get this breakout bar here. It's pushing down. 116.50 is where it needs to go to confirm a breakout on the 50 tick. Not much down there. We do have this one wall here. Oh, 1 second. There we go. We do have one wall here at 118.25. Darrow wall here at 116. So if that breakout bar closes, it'll be right above this wall. Then hopefully it pushes through a little bit, then pulls back to it and taking a short off of that. If it can push down there. At this moment, that's what we have. Ugliness. There's actually quite a bit of volume, especially compared to yesterday. There's twice as much volume. Well, total in the market. I'm not sure if you're looking at specific bar or anything. We're at 133,000, a little over 133,000 in volume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our 6th bar of 50 tick chop. Just waiting for this breakout bar. Which way do you want to break out? It's going to be my main thing I'm going to be looking for right now because we're in so much chop. Now we're on our 7th bar. All right, are we going to go break up? Let's see. As you can see back here, look at all this chop we had between 3:55 to about 5:53. About 2 hours of 50 tick chop overnight. It's ugly. Yeah, that's the thing. It probably will, if it goes up, it probably will chop some because looking at the 30 tick, if it goes up, we got these spread out ZOIs, cluster. I mean, it may make it right up into this area and start chopping around. 54.75 is the close of the bar, which would put it right up in the middle of these ZOIs. So, I don't love that. But, like they all say, we are paid to be patient. We do have a, I mean, this technically is a simplicity long here. Cluster on the 30 on the deviation level there. I'm with you, Jeff. I've actually got one of my, during the sale, I picked up a the last sale, Black Friday. I picked up some 25K accounts. So you know what? Let me grab some 25K accounts because of these rule changes and get some quick payouts and all that. So grab some of those, and I have one, or it's actually about to have them funded. If I can just get a couple days of profit here. So, but yeah, we'll see. Could be this week, could be next week, could be the next. So I always say it takes me on average around 30 days or so to fund an account, to get an account funded. No 2 days here. All right, we're up at these ZOIs now, so let's see what it does. We are in a long. We're at the, we do have the breakout bar. There we go. We have the breakout bar. Like I said, it's right into the middle of those ZOIs. Could chop around. Hopefully it doesn't. Hey, man, you know, as long as you don't blow them out, take your time. You know, it is what it is. Just keep going. 500 down is really not bad. $11,146. I might. It depends what it looks like when it pulls down here. If it pulls down to where an LRE would be and gives me something like some strong HD or something to go with it, I mean, yeah, I may. Well, now it closed up here, so now I won't. Because see, the solid line's up here now. So now I won't because there's not a lot of room. Because if I get in at 52, it could come back up in this area and chop around a little bit. So if I did take it, like let's say it pulled back and I was like, oh, and I jumped in. And I was like, oh, crap, maybe I shouldn't have. Or maybe I'm worried. I would just move to break even pretty quick and then see if it goes. But now it's pretty tight. So I'm definitely not taking it. I do like the HD. But what I don't like is that it couldn't break. It struggled right above where this area is. So I like the HD on the 10 tick, but I don't like that it struggled here. And then look at the 30 tick. We have a cluster now right there on the COI. So I'm just going to skip it and wait for another one. It's got some nice HD though. But, and it may be a TX long with it, but just because to me, it doesn't have, it's not showing me enough potential to keep going long. It might, but I just don't like it very much. But yeah, originally if it pulled down all the way to where you were saying, I probably would have taken it if it gives me, like if this, what just happened right now was down at that level, that area that you called, that 1146, 1148, I would have much rather taken it down here. I for sure would have taken this exact setup with HD, TX, all this stuff, if that would have happened down here. Then yeah, I would have loved that. And then I would have rode it back up to this top and tightened up as it came back up. So what I prefer now is this to continue long. Above this 1160, 150. If we can continue above that and pull back to it, or continue above that and pull back somewhere there, then I'll take a long. Then we have settlement right above that, so. Nice, Tech. Yeah, get those things funded. Yeah, same here. I'm definitely taking advantage of the one-time fees. Especially, I hold my PA accounts for a long time, so I can definitely, if you do the math, as long as you have your PA for at least 2 months, then you're good. It's worth it. And as you can see, it's a little bit choppy here. That's why I wouldn't have taken that one. I mean, you could have made some, if you got in right, 54. I mean, you could have grabbed 5 points off of it. I just don't like whenever it's a tight grab like that.
Potential TX on NQ. Potential double TX on NQ.
And actually, that was right in the middle of where that 11 bar chop was. Look at that. It pulled up right to the middle of it. Yes, Jeff. If you're still in an evaluation, then yeah. The only thing that doesn't apply to the old ones is the micro. Like during your evaluation, if you want to do the equal amount of micros to minis, you'd have had to get a new evaluation for that. But if you were like any evaluation you were working on in the past, if you're still working on it and get it funded now, then yeah, you could do the one-time fee. Yep. Like I said, I got a couple of my 25K ones I bought on the Black Friday. Should be funded here really soon, and I'm definitely going for the one-time fee. All right, Simplicity is trying to go short here. See if it goes short, if it wants to chop around some more. It's like going on these little runs and then chop. Little run and chop. Little run and chop. So you had technically there's an entry. I wouldn't have taken this entry if I was trading Simplicity entries, but we're on this cluster on the 30 tick. Now we continue to wait. Yeah, Doctor, I prefer the 50K over 25. So the majority of mine are all 50Ks, and I have a few 300Ks. But because when they changed the rules, and with the payouts and all, I was like, oh man, I can grab some 25Ks and get it to where, payouts pretty quick, a lot faster than I can the other 50Ks. So that's why I grabbed some 25Ks. I haven't had 25Ks in a while. So I was like, let me do that. Of course, I'm trading really small on them, but yeah, Jeffrey, can you explain the one-time fee? Yeah, so once you pass an evaluation and you go and pay for a funded account, traditionally the funded accounts were $85 a month plus tax, no matter what the account size, and you pay that per account. Now the one-time fee, you have the option to either do that monthly fee, or you could pay a one-time fee, and that's it. Never pay again as long as your funded account is active and, not in a failed position. Let's see, I have right here. Here's the fees. 25K is 130. Then it goes 140, 180, 220. There's the fees right there, depending on what the account size is. So to me, like I said, a 50K account is $140. Normally with the 50% off sale, or I'm sorry, not the 50% off sale. The funded, the PA fee is normally $85 plus tax, which is $90. So 2 months of $90 for me, the tax amount is $180. So as long as I have the PA account, the funded account, for at least 2 months, then it's worth it. So it's kind of the way I look at that. All right. This thing is, I'm waiting for this. Here's a simplicity, but waiting for this to come down, because we're at the deviation almost. If this comes down, we're still at those ZOIs. It's kind of a area that I'm not really too interested in. I prefer this to come back short again if it's going to make its way short. See, here's an LRE technically, but it has HD. I would normally like this, but we have these clusters here, magnet, and then the deviation wall. It's not very clear below. So I would normally, again, there's just keeps being a lot of obstructions in the way, but this one wouldn't be a bad one either. It has a lot of HD. It's just once it gets right here, we got the double clusters, wall, deviation that could stop it. I mean, it'll probably blow through because I'm not taking it, but but this is a little area that could stop price. Yeah. It's kind of tight because right here, these double clusters, it very well could have come right down to this little area and stop. Obviously, right now it didn't. And I joke around and I say that's how the market baits you, because you see that it worked here. And then the next time you see this, you're like, oh, well, it worked last time. And you take it, and then it comes right here and stops and reverses, and you lose. And you're like, well, crap, that sucked. That's what happens to me. So I gotta. Yeah, that's what I would have done, doctor, if you would have jumped in. That's what I always recommend too. Like if you jump in an LRE or something too quick, and then, maybe you didn't like it after the fact, or, whatever it is, then just move to break even as fast as possible and still just let it go, because it may work, but at least get yourself to break even quick. Yeah, Nikita, my bar range settings are 1, 20, and 40. Bar range number 1 is 1, 20, and 40. And I do that because since I trade specifically LREs, I want to see where 20 ticks is, 20 ticks, and then 40 ticks from the price. I'm trading anywhere from, at any given time, 5 to 9 accounts. I mean, I could trade 9 without any problem in multiple contracts, and I get in and out, never have any issues. How do I determine how many accounts to trade? Oh, well, typically I like to trade them all, but at the same time, and usually I am trading them all at the same time, but it just depends on the status of them and things like that, where I may turn some of them off if I need to. But yeah, normally I'm trading all of them. All right, let's see if we could break this ice level now. Continue short. It's got a ZOI on it on the 30 tick. Also, if you look at it, it's trying to lay a paw on it. Hopefully it does not lay this paw and just continues short. Come on, NQ. Because the problem is if this does not continue short, then we need it to go long, right? But if it goes long, I want it to go all the way up here. So that may take a while. So I prefer this to just go short. That's awesome, Brandy. I hope so. I mean, hope me doing this, somebody could pick something up. Yes. To answer your question, Joan, yes, that's what I do because I have a live account, a personal live account that I trade as well, and I trade that one. It's a small account, so I do the same thing. I do the ratio method, and I also cross over. I do micros on that one, so on just that one. So yeah, you can do that. See, it's trying to make its way back up. The only reason why, like I said, I don't want it to go back up because if I'm looking for an LRE, I want this to, preferably not be in this middle area. So I'd want it to go up long further. But the way the market's moving now, I don't know if it'll really get there too quick. So that's why I wanted this to just continue short. Yeah, I mean, you could do that too. So if you want to have your live account, if you're doing minis on your live account, then yeah, you could just do, one or however minis you're doing on your live account, and then you can have your evaluations follow it as long as you're going to do the exact same amount of contracts. If you're going to, of course, do more or less contracts, then you have to change it. Yeah, that Brandy, that was the main reason why I did this too, because I know that there's, everybody focuses on a different way of trading, and this is just kind of how I've done it and the way I look at the market to read these LREs. And most of the way I read the market too is I learned straight from Lori, and then just kind of looked at it for these LREs. So since I've been, doing pretty well, not only, like I say, I like to go back and watch my own videos so I can see if there's anywhere I can improve. But, while I'm doing that, if anybody can get something from a different perspective of how to look at the market, different but the same. So that's why I did that for sure. Have a great day. All right, let's see. This thing is trying to push short, maybe, but just real slow, taking its time. Be patient. Thank you, Jim. All right. Simplicity looks like it wants to work on going short. Yeah, that's true, Jeff. Market conditions do change for sure. That's another thing. I used to try to just trade through any market condition. So when the market was great, I'd go on a nice little run, do great. And then the market would get crappy. Then here I go, giving back all my profit. So now if I could just hold on to that profit when the market conditions are bad and not take trades if I don't have to, then you can, be profitable over time. That was a hard thing for me to figure out too, because I just wanted to trade. Got to take a trade. All right, NQ, come on. You can do it. We got a new flux level that popped up here. I think it just popped up. I don't remember seeing it. 11,131.75. Go ahead and refresh all those just in case. Huh. No dynamic magnets around here. We do have a short. It's pushing short. Okay, if this pulls back, I probably will take an LRE because we have a clear bottom here on the 10 tick that we just went sideways on and just broke out this little leg here. So if we get a pullback somewhere, I'll probably take it short, but I will keep a decently tight trail on it because price movement isn't really great right now. And the simplicity hasn't ran for very long. But I like that it's pretty much breaking out of this little area from the 10 tick. Then if it runs, we have double clusters down on the 30 tick down here that I'd expect it to go down and test. May get a pullback here at about 1136. Yeah, if it goes all the way up to 1142.50, it'd probably break the simplicity lines. It'd probably break out of the solid line. So at this point, I don't know, maybe you said that earlier. We do have double clusters here on the 10. So we'll see if it pulls back up to around this wall, what it looks like. Yeah, because if it could pull up at least to this wall, then it's a tight area. But if it pulls up to this wall, I could get in and expect it to come back down to these double clusters and flux, which again is still kind of tight. But I think if that happens and it does come back down, it should continue short. I want to see if it makes it up to this wall with some HD. If not, I'll wait for it to just continue short. I did lay this little 10 tick mini magnet on the flux though. Let's see if we can grab some HD. All right. At this point, I just wanted to continue short. I mean, that was an LRE, but man, I was waiting. I was expecting it to come up to this wall because then I have more room between that and this flux and double clusters. And I wanted some HD. And then also, yeah. Yeah, I want this to push down. Hey, Dan. Now, you haven't really missed anything yet. Got a couple of close ones, but skipped a couple of them.
Potential TX on NQ.
Yeah, that's what. If it would have at least made it to this wall, I could have been comfortable with 5 points
Potential elevator on NQ.
and moving to break even and just seeing if this breaks. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I want this to go break this little area here to go short. Yeah, we have that 50 tick area, but I was just mentioning I would have liked this if it pulled back up to this wall with some nice HD or something to go with it, because on the 10 tick here, we kind of had this, it's kind of a bottom where pulled back here, went up, pulled back, then it finally broke. So that's where I was looking for it to come back up and test this area, kind of like a lazy Z here, and then go down. But it didn't quite give me the pullback, and then it left these double clusters, laid this mini magnet on this flux level here. So it got a little iffy for me, and I just, when I kind of hesitate like that, I'll just wait. Yeah, Jean, if you, definitely move to break even if you haven't taken any profit. This could be a valid elevator if this closes long and creates a new trend. It's in a downtrend, but typically you'd want it early in a new trend. So it would be basically creating a new trend. So might be a little too early for an elevator. Yeah, that's the thing. The other part that I've mentioned sometimes is that, this pulled up and it was an LRE, but I would really preferred it a little bit. I mean, it's not much difference. I mean, it's a point and a half to the wall, but that would just give me a little bit more room here. So my area, I really wanted it to come up to the wall, and have more HD on it. Now, if this little pullback right here did have like triple or double this HD, then I would have considered it a lot more. But this mini magnet that it laid on the flux also was telling me, all right, this level right here might be a little bit tough for it to break. For the moment, anyways. And then, of course, simplicity is now. That was back here, but now, since it's struggling, it's kind of taking this little sideways movement. And I don't know if you can see this because it's so small. Here, let me do this. But it's trying to lay another mini magnet right here. This little pink live mini magnet. If this bar closes up, then we'll have a double mini magnet on this flux on the 10 tick. That's a flux level. My flux levels are colored pink. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that, Paul. Yep. Left a paw on that. Yep. See, now it's breaking short. See, that's still, and it's going right to those double clusters that I mentioned. So let's see where it wants to go from here. It's passing it up. Yeah, I hate when you have to reload charts and wait for it. All right, come on. Let's go and make a deviation run or something. 0.5 dev. Let's break this wall. Make a nice run. We haven't had a nice run all morning. All right, I probably will take, if we get a pullback, I'll take an LRE short. If we get a pullback somewhere. Yeah, exactly, Jeff. Flux could be an entry here. Definitely looking at that. It struggled to break it. If it comes back and retests it. Ooh, look at that Lorex. Shot that up. So right back to where those double clusters are on the 30 tick. Let's see if this comes up with some HD or something. Bounced right off those walls. Right in the middle of them. We have HD on the 10 tick, but no entry for us. These triple clusters down here on the bottom. See, and that's what happens a lot of times with these clusters. Well, hold on. On the 30 tick, you see how it blew past them, pulled back, and tested exactly where those clusters are to the left. Right here. Tested exactly where they were. That always happens most of the time. All right. Taking this short here. I'm behind the flux. So let's see. Hopefully those double clusters to the left will push it back short. We're back to this wall and cluster. I'm going to go ahead and move to break even. Just in case this thing probably knocked me out. Knocked me out. But I'm glad I moved to break even. The reason why is because right here when I got in, it came back down. We have this ZOI cluster here. And then that's about where the cluster, now we have a cluster popped up on the 30. This may continue short, but with this stuff here, I wanted to go ahead and move to break even as fast as possible. That way I still give it the chance to run down back here, run back in this area. But in case if it doesn't, and then if you look, simplicity was, it flipped on me too. So it's pushing, but it, at this point, it's kind of like it may go anywhere. So I moved to break even as fast as possible. Got one tick on it to cover commissions. Yeah, 60% of the time it happens every time. And now look, see, it's pushing long. It definitely wants to test that flux. It's going right up to the flux, which I wish my LRE was further up. But let's see, I got in pretty good entry, decent entry. 29.75. Maybe I got in a point off. But either way, my stop was still behind the flux. I just lost confidence in it when these flipped, and then cluster on the current bar, trying to lay with an exhaustion box and a paw, and then kind of this mess here on this wall. So nice HD though. Look at this, 500% is what it ended up being. But we can't control the price movement the way it's moving, so I'd rather be out. Yeah, that flex level just popped up for me like 15 minutes ago. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Hey, one of my accounts got 2 ticks off of it. All right, let's see. We're trying to go long here. Simplicity is anyways. It really hasn't been great of a day. I mean, just look at the 50 tick here. We had this nice move down, no LRE in it. Actually, that was before I even got on. So this right here has been since I've been on. This is literally my morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars of chop. 1 breakout bar up, back down. That has been my morning. And you know what? I'm 100% okay with my one little tick. There's no news today either. Maybe it's just Christmas week. I don't know. All right, so I just figured out while I'm sitting here a way to show, because y'all know if y'all have watched any of my videos or heard anything I've ever talked about, I do not care about my P&L in dollar amount, right? I look at everything by ticks. And I've been trying to figure out how to do this. And I've even been talking to some NinjaTrader coders to see if they can do something like this for me. But you see here on my P&L, where it normally shows your P&L, I have that off. I've always had that off. I talk about that in my videos where I don't want to see my P&L dollar amount. So I have that off. But then I've been trying to figure out how can I change that to display it in ticks. And apparently that's pretty hard to do. And so I've been talking to some people. Anyways, long story short, I just thought of and figured a way how I can, for the stream here, display it with another box. I found a way to show my tick count. So I think by tomorrow, I'm going to put like a nice little box here that shows my P&L and ticks right there for everybody to see. It's probably going to be my morning. Yeah, because I want to show my tick count for everybody. You know, we trade to make money and make profit, but I just don't, I don't think of anything in dollar amount. So I want to stay true to that, and I don't like seeing the dollar amount. So, yeah, I traded CL for like a month. I did it. Mark. Yes, and on CL, I do prefer the VIX over OVX. And you can pull them both up too, like when you're loading a chart and look at them and see what you like better, but you'll see what I'm talking about when you do that if you pull one chart with the VIX and one with the OVX. Vegas, it doesn't work. I've tried that, and I've talked to NinjaTrader about it. NT7, you can actually change that in NinjaTrader 7, but when they move to 8, the only way it'll display your P&L is in dollar. Yeah, exactly. The stop width is crazy with OVX. It's huge. And then the VIX is just very clean. Getting pretty close to dark zone here, so yeah. All right, I'm going to call it a day. We're getting too close to the dark zone and the open. I'm not going to, price isn't really moving great. Well, okay, hold on. Let's see what happens here with this short. Let's see if this short breaks. Getting a short going on. Got to see if this breaks this area here. We are getting pretty close to dark zone, so last time I did that, I don't know if y'all remember, I think it was Friday. Took one right when dark zone entered, and it just flew against me.
Double cluster NQ.
Yeah. Thankfully, I recovered later, or after the open that day, but yeah, that was not fun. Dang. See, and it always does this. Just trying. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get off. I'm going to call it a day because I'm not going to do that again.
Potential TX on NQ. Potential setup A on NQ. Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
All right, everybody, have a great day. It's only Tuesday. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Everybody that's trading after the open, trade well. Thanks for joining the live stream, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.